before we start example 5, there is a video I would like you to watch first.
Just golf already.
What's the golf? I'm stupid. You're stupid.
Boys, settle.
Hold on.
We were learning the order of operations when I found myself a little mixed up. So many things to be evaluated. I felt confused and my brain was just stuck. My teacher said to take 2 deep breaths and to listen to her words of advice. If you learn this saying and follow the steps, you will never ever have to think twice. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, sometimes she gets a little confused. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, a mnemonic device you should use. P for parentheses, E for exponents, M multiply, D divide. A for adding, S for subtracting. Use this order to help you decide. And please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, sometimes she gets a little confused. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, a mnemonic device you should use. If you use the order of operations, your answers will always be wise. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally is a saying I would strongly advise. And please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, sometimes she gets a little confused. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, a mnemonic device you should use. My dear Aunt Sally has just one flaw, as equations are read left to right. Inverse operations carry equal weight, sometimes you must use a little insight. And please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, sometimes she gets a little confused. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, a mnemonic device you should use.
Now getting back to example 5. You did just learn about what we call PEMDAS, or that's your order of operations. And you have to know PEMDAS before you start working with different types of equations. So let's take a look at this first one here. It says 3/8 plus 5/6 divided by 5. So I've got it written out here again. 3/8 plus 5/6 times 1/5. Because we're still working with fractions in here, we have to convert the whole number to a fraction. This goes back to one of the lessons you just had a few minutes ago. You must always, when dealing with fractions, everything has to be written as a fraction. That's the very first video you saw. So they went ahead and took 5. If they changed it here, it would be 5/1. Then, because it's division, you flip it to multiplication, then flip 5/1 to its reciprocal, which is 1/5. So now you have a new equation. You have 3/8, not changed, plus 5/6, not changed, divided by, changed to multiplication, 5 over 1 changed to 1 over 5. Okay? Then, if you remember in PEMDAS, and you can look at the anchor chart that we put up for PEMDAS, but it tells you to multiply first. So we are doing right here. We are leaving 3/8 by itself because it has a plus by it. But these two numbers here are multiplied. So we're going to do this part of the equation. Notice they did cross factors, 5, 5, 1, 1, and then they went across. They then got a new number, 1/6, or a new fraction. Now the problem is 3/8, which they carried down, plus carried it down. The new answer for this is 1/6. Now you have to find common denominators, because remember, this isn't multiplication now, this is addition. And we do addition after multiplication in PEMDAS. 18/48, 48 is your common denominator, so then you add across. You will come up with 26/48, or in its simplest terms, because these are both even numbers, I know I can go smaller, and that's 13/24. So there's a lot to think about. Even in the video that we were looking at, and they were going through PEMDAS down the side, as they did each step, they dropped the new answer down into the problem. So you will always be constantly rewriting the problem until you get to the very last step. All right, your job right now is to do the on your own 14 through 16, and then we will see you in class to check your work.